Habitat home for a family in our community. Check out the website, habitatocala.org, and follow the link. The Habitat for Humanity Strawberry Festival is Saturday, March 7th, with breakfast served at 7:30. Free admission, $5 parking. See you there.
Hey, the roses are rolling in at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. More roses than you've ever seen in one place. So come pick yours out while selections are huge. Easy care, knockout, and drift roses starting as low as $17.99. Those fragrant hybrid tea roses regularly $39.99, just $32.99. And how about those geraniums? Great selection. You get 10 for $19.99. Same price for flowering annuals. Mix or match them. Great selection, 10 for $19.99. And yes, Bob still has veggies in the 4-pack for just $3.49. And every tree is on sale this week. Take an extra 20% off. You've got to walk through the Camellia Show Spectacular. It's still going on 5 acres strong with thousands of blooming camellias all over. Bob Wines is open daily till 4:30 on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Ah, the joys of flying from a major hub.
Come on, guys, we gotta go.
Wait, honey, but our flight doesn't leave for 5 hours.
I know, but traffic could be bad. Then there's trying to find a parking spot, then the mile walk to check in, and of course security could take a while.
Skip the circus and fly regional. From parking to boarding and everything in between. It's just better.
Gainesville Regional Airport, now boarding with over 343 destinations in one stop. Non-stop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, Atlanta, Charlotte, and Miami. Fly with us. You'll be glad you did. For more information, visit flygainesville.com.
And you're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. And as a part of News Bits this morning, we have on the air to talk a little bit about mobile safety, if you will. We have Bryan Sartin, the head of Verizon Global Securities. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Doing just fine. Happy to be here.
Excellent, excellent. And with that, it says here, each day, the news brings more shocking stories of breaches within cybersecurity. And they say even that top security experts within the nation come together each year at the RSA Security Conference in San Francisco to examine certain threats and look for certain solutions to this such growing problem. And as far as you being one of those top experts, what can you tell us?
Well, I'll tell you, we were there in numbers, and just last week also timed with the conference released our 3rd annual Mobile Security Index. And it's really tracking some interesting findings, both the fast arc in which mobile security threats are increasing, coupled with the recognition that mobile security is not where it needs to be. So incredibly, 40% of the respondents to our study cited having a mobile security compromise in just the last year. And more than half of those said that compromise had lasting repercussions to the brand. So some alarming stats there.
Oh, wow. That is incredible. And is this something that we, as majority of regular public, just take for granted in a way, as more and more people, through the years have acquired cell phones, now smartphones, and all this stuff?
Well, I don't think that's necessarily happening. Certainly, we see some evidence of that on the consumer side. Mm-hmm. But fascinating findings in the study this year. So simultaneously, while our respondents show that mobile security attacks are increasing in numbers, but also more brand damaging, as I just mentioned. You have 80% of small to mid-sized business, 80%. So that's companies with fewer than 1,000 employees, citing mobile security as key to the company's productivity and profitability. Yet almost half of those said they know they have sacrificed wireless security. And in small to mid-sized business, more than 90% of respondents said they lack the 4 most basic fundamental defensive countermeasures to wireless security threats today.
And like you said, now with that, even some of these small and medium businesses that do suffer some of these breach attacks, if you will, don't even recover, end up going out of business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And there's some alarming stats. And actually, this one comes from the National Cybersecurity Alliance. 25% of small to mid-sized businesses hit with a cyber attack last year in 2019 were forced to file bankruptcy, and another 10% had to be shut down completely. So you can really see how palpable and real the impacts of these attacks are at the brand level.
Here's a question for you, partner. Where are small and medium businesses, so to speak, falling short in keeping up with or evolving, so to speak, with this security?
Well, there are four areas, four fundamentals that we really want to stress. You could go so far looking at the impacts of our study to say, despite all of the massive growth and the arc and increase of cybersecurity threats, there are still four basic fundamentals as far as defensive countermeasures that could mitigate the risk of 90+% of all of those real-world threats that we see and diagnose. Number one is smart authentication. Number two is encryption at the handset and data stream level. Containerization on the phone, especially for the enterprise, but also restricted downloads, so limiting the kinds of places and information that the handset operator can access.
Interesting. And what was number three? Repeat that one again.
Yeah, containerization.
Yeah, elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, so this is containerization and restricted downloads. These are two common items that are leveraged by enterprises. And you think in the bring your own device type setting, if I bring my own handset to work and that handset is set up to be able to access sensitive company applications and data, then a container application is something the company can install on that phone, which just simply isolates the personal use and the company use sides of that phone. So the company use side can have certain encryption and certain security settings that don't slow me down on the personal side, but also enable that company to securely wipe that phone, the company side of that phone, if in the event a mobile security breach on the handset is detected.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah, and that makes sense there too, and thanks for elaborating on that. Now, as we mentioned, with the small and medium businesses, and I guess in the succession of these large businesses, this is probably one of the things large businesses first think of, and they've got departments to handle this, so to speak. And what you're kind of doing is bridging the gap, saying like the numbers are astounding, and with that, you got to get the word out here that if you are a small business owner, you are a viable threat.
Yeah. That's absolutely true. I do think for sure you see in our study that a lot of these respondents recognize how critical mobility is, but at the same time see there's greater exposure there. True, small to mid-sized businesses more in the crosshairs, but as you start to get into the larger enterprise, one of the things that's very concerning there is the growth of IoT-related, Internet of Things, mobility breaches. So 31% of our respondents admitted to having suffered a compromise involving an IoT device. And that's an interesting spectrum in large enterprise that also isn't as well covered today as it needs to be.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we're just about out of time, my friend, and I want to say I appreciate it and excellent information here as far as getting the word out and expressing the importance here. And it is kind of amazing, too, the numbers that you're talking about for being exposed, some of these small and medium businesses. It is kind of alarming and in essence trying to get the word out and make people aware of it. But thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Yep, absolutely. And more on our study can be found at www.verizon.com/mobile security index.
Excellent. Thank you very much, partner. You have a good day.
Chris Foster.
I tell you,
You too. Cheers.
absolute confidence, we are going to win the Democratic nomination.
But Bernie Sanders has now been overtaken in the delegate race for that nomination, with Joe Biden winning in at least 9 states on Super Tuesday. He says about President Trump at a rally in Los Angeles.
He doesn't have any compassion, no regard for the values that made this country who we are.